Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back again. I'm excited to be here and I'm ready to crush this. I'm ready to give it a shot and continue on with you. So, welcome back. Again, my name is Anaceli and I welcome you to class How I Prepare for the U.S. Citizenship. Let's get ready to for your interview and let's do it. Let's crush it. Let's get ready. So, question 78. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. World War One, World War Two, the Korean War, Vietnam War, and the Persian or also known as the Gulf War. So name one. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You need to know one. Easy. So name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. It's World War One, World War Two, Korean War, Vietnam War, and the Persian Gulf War. Okay, so just name one, but try to remember as many because it's good to practice. Okay, who was president during World War One? Who was president during World War One? The president was Woodrow Wilson. He was the 28th president of the United States. So, who was president during World War One? It was President Woodrow Wilson. Who was president during World War One? The president was Woodrow Wilson. Okay, moving along. 80. Who was the president during the Great Depression of the United States and World War Two? Who was president during the Great Depression in the 1920s and World War Two? The president was Franklin Delano Roosevelt. He was our 32nd president, and he was president 4 times. He is very famous because he was well loved, number one. Number two, he's famous because he was president 4 times. After he served 4 times and he died during his fourth presidency, then laws were made, changed, so that a president could only serve 2 terms. But this president here, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt, was president 4 times. He died on his 44th term when he was serving as president. Okay, moving along. 81. Who did the United States fight in World War II? Who did the United States fight in World War II? Who did the United States fight in World War II? The United States fought Japan, Germany, and Italy during World War II. Sorry, did I say one? The question is, who did the United States fight in World War II? Who did the United States fight in World War II? The United States fought Japan, Germany, and Italy. The United States fought Japan, Germany, and Italy during World War II. Next, before he was president, Dwight D. Hauer, Dwight D. Eisenhower, president number 34, was general. What war was he in? What war was he in? It was World War II. Before he was president, Dwight D. Eisenhower, number 34, was general. What war was he in? He was in World War number 2, World War II. Before he was president, Dwight D. Eisenhower, president number 34, was a general. He was a general in the military. What war was he in? It was World War II. Okay. 83. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? During the war, what was the main concern of the United States? It was communism. It was they were concerned about the spread of communism in our area. So, during the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? It was communism. Moving along. 84. What movement tried to end racial discrimination in the United States? So, what movement tried to end racial discrimination in the United States? It was the Civil Rights Movement. It started in 1954 and ended in 1968. One more time. 84. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? What movement tried to end racial discrimination? It was the Civil Rights Movement that started in 1954 and ended in 1968. You just need to know it was the Civil Rights Movement that tried to end racism, racial discrimination in the United States. Okay, I'm sure you've seen his face. This is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? Martin Luther King Jr. fought for civil rights. Martin Luther King Jr. fought for civil rights. Of course, he died April 4th, 1968, right when the movement was ending, and he was assassinated. He was killed at his hotel. Okay, Martin Luther King Jr. fought for civil rights. Martin Luther King fought for Martin Luther King Jr. fought for civil rights. He worked for equality for all Americans. So, what did Martin Luther King Jr. do? Martin Luther King Jr. fought for civil rights. Martin Luther King died. I'm sorry, Martin Luther King Jr. fought for civil rights. He worked for the equality of all Americans. 86. What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Terrorists attacked the United States. I like this photo that I'm sharing here with you. Um, you see the light shining there. Those lights are right precisely in the area where um, the Twin Towers were situated in the New York Harbor there, near the Hudson River. Uh, so those lights represent the Twin Towers that were destroyed, that were blasted down by the terrorists. And again, what major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Terrorists attacked the United States. Alrighty, moving along. 87. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Well, there are about 500 federally recognized tribes in the United States, and you need to name one. There's so many, so choose the one that you're familiar with. One recommendation I have is maybe choose the Native Americans that are in your state. So, for example, if I were choosing, I would choose the Ojibwe, also known as the Chippewa. I would choose the Sioux. They're very close to us. And I would also choose the Hidatsa, because when I lived in North Dakota, I worked with Hidatsa people, and they're very close to my heart. And now I live very, very close. I live about 15 minutes away from the White Earth Reservation, and we work with the Chippewa Ojibwe people. So uh, those are the tribes that are close to me that I would say if I were interviewing, because I know of them, I work with them, and I wouldn't forget those names. So Chippewa, Ojibwe, Hidatsa people. But if you live in Iowa, your native people might be different. New York, Texas, um, California, they might be different. So try to choose the ones that you will remember. You only need to know one. There are 500 of them, okay? As a matter of fact, let me show you something here. On the next page, I have the Iroquois, Crow, Creek, Teton, Blackfeet. When I lived camped and visited Montana, I learned a lot about the Blackfeet people, the Hopi, the Inuit, which are the Eskimos. The old name was Eskimos, but today we know them as the Inuits, the Seminoles, the Hidatsa, who are very close to my heart. From North Dakota, Ojibwe, Chippewa, Anishinaabe, same people who live in Minnesota. Um, so just try to remember a couple, but try to find the ones that are meaningful that you'll remember. Here is a map of the United States. This map is represents all the native tribes that were here uh, and were vibrant and present and lived here before the Europeans arrived. This is a map of the Native American settlements in the United States. Okay? Review. Remember, review, practice, review questions and answers to develop your skills to become confident and not be shy and nervous during your interview. So, going back to our previous lesson, what territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? The United States bought the Louisiana area, the Louisiana territory from France in 1803, also known as the Louisiana Purchase. One more time. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? The United States bought Louisiana, the Louisiana Territory, from France in 1803, also known as the Louisiana Purchase. And in the previous session, I showed you the map. 73. Name the U.S. war between the North and South. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South. It was the Civil War. It was the war between the North and Southern states. It was the war between the Northern and Southern states. It was the war to fight over economics and freedom for slaves. It was the Civil War. Name the U.S. war between the North and South states. It was the Civil War. It was the war between the North and South states. 74. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. There were three. You need to know one. The three reasons are slavery, economic reasons, it was not economically sound, and states wanted rights. The North did not agree with the South. The South had a different belief, ideology about slavery, and economics was the main reason why we had a civil war, and the states wanted their rights. And so there was a lot of division between the North and South. The South wanted to divide, separate themselves from the North, but our leader at the time, Abraham Lincoln, fought to keep the states united, to keep the states together so that they wouldn't separate. He fought for the union of the United States. Okay, here he is, Abraham Lincoln, our 16th president. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? 16th president. He freed the slaves under the Emancipation Proclamation. He preserved the Union. He preserved the United States from staying together, helped to preserve it, the northern and the southern states to stay together so that they wouldn't separate. And he led the United States during the Civil War. He led the United States during the Civil War. He helped preserve the Union, save it from dividing into North and Southern states, two different countries, and he helped to free the slaves via the Emancipation Proclamation. Therefore, Abraham Lincoln is known, President number 16 is known for the Emancipation Proclamation, freeing the slaves, preserving the Union, the North and South, keeping the United States together. And he was the leader and president during the Civil War. Okay, what did the Emancipation Proclamation do? What did the Emancipation Proclamation do? It freed the slaves. It freed slaves in the Confederacy area. It freed slaves in the Confederate States. It freed slaves in most southern states. So slavery was big in the southern states, and the Emancipation Proclamation was a law to free the slaves so that they can have freedom and the rights that most Americans at the time had. And that was what the Emancipation Proclamation did for slave to end slavery. Okay, Susan B. Anthony. What did Susan B. Anthony do? Susan B. Anthony fought for women's rights. She fought for civil rights. Susan B. Anthony was very instrumental to help write and pass helped to write information documents and write speeches, talk on behalf of women's rights, and because of her, the 19th Amendment was passed in 1920. She didn't live long enough to see it pass, but because of the work she did and the speeches and the petitions to Congress, she was instrumental in getting our 19th Amendment passed in 1920 to give women the rights to vote and to get some more rights for women. That is why Susan B. Anthony is famous, and you see her in a coin, that silver coin that we have. Susan B. Anthony was born in 1820, and died in 1906, not long enough to see the 19th Amendment pass, but she was instrumental. And with our fellow activist Elizabeth Cady Stanton, they traveled the country, gave speeches, got signatures, petitions, lobbied to Congress to get to pass the first draft in 1878, and in 1920 the 19th Amendment was approved, and this gave women rights to vote and give women more power in the United States, thanks to people, powerful leaders like Susan B. Anthony and Elizabeth Cady Stanton. The women were able to vote at that time. Uh, because of the 19th Amendment approval, and um, that was passed in 1920. Alrighty, a lot to do, a lot to learn. Together we can do it. Thanks for joining me again. I'm happy to be back, and I have one more lesson coming up that takes us to question 100. So thank you for joining me. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you around at the next, and bye for now. And I do want to share one more thing. Okay, let's see, where is it? And here it is, just to finish the lesson. So bye for now. See you later. Don't forget to practice. See you later. Bye bye.